You know what? I did eat a Greek salad earlier today. True story. So in the spirit of that, let's sacrifice our bishop on h7. Greek gift, baby. Here we go.
William Grafe, the Gambit man, takes his seat at the board. E4. E5. Knight F3. Bishop C5. The Bushcast Gambit on the board. On with the Gambit classes. Hero pod unlocked.
So we've started off with a few wins, some sketchier than others, but we did it. Oh, we're playing number 2 in the arena. All right, big game, big game. Let's get a Bushcast Gambit on the board. Maybe we get an acceptance. An acceptance now, +3. Oh, unfortunate. Unfortunate, we got the Italian. Got an Italian on the board. We can try to do something. What's up, Resting Forest? How are you? We can do something a bit dubious here, and let's just go for this idea. Thank you all for joining. This is very dubious, but I do like going for this. Just g5, g4, or trying to castle this way. Bishop takes g4 would be very nice. We can support our friends with something like rook g8. H2 is, of course, to combat this idea. Try it anyway. I don't want allow f takes in this open. This is a bit annoying. I'll take with the knight. Both captures are annoying. Rook takes removes my castling. I would like to have had that. Because, yeah, f3 is something that I wanted to block. But that's okay. Bishop will now stop here. So we've opened the g-file. That was the big idea. We played g5, g4. We opened the g-file. And that's what I wanted to do. So my opponent has seen all my ideas coming. Nonetheless, they have come. And I'm thinking here about castling and just giving this. Do I play like this over the board? A little bit of a tamer version than this. Like, in FIDE time control, like classical time controls against like other titled players. Well, let's go for this, yeah? That's actually quite the threat. So now the king's gonna have to step over back onto the file of doom. And in that case, my knight has another great square. G2. Tamer is in more solid. As in more objectively accurate, but I still... So there's a couple things that are still true, right? Number one, I avoid main lines, and my biggest priority in the opening is to know the opening better than my opponent, more so than getting a good stockfish number. My biggest priority in the opening is to not get out prepped and to out prep them, to know that position better than them, to understand it better, and even to just have deeper preparation, right? One sec, sorry, I'm multitasking here. I'm thinking we're giving up this bishop, speaking of which. I think after takes, queen takes... Oh, you didn't even want it. Alright, we'll force this file open. Knight on f4 is a great knight. Look at that. It's really just anchoring my position. We can now just crack this open. So knight d2, they needed this development like one move sooner, I feel like. I actually still haven't even castled. Alright, so they got this into the game. But now just g3. Look at that. I mean, all my pieces did a great job. Like they were never able to hit my king, you know? Which was the big part of why this worked. I think here they're going to have to give you both rooks. Both rooks are mine. Knight stays here, doing damage. Queen h3. Or take and queen h3, queen g2. So I was saying a couple things are true. Yes, opening preparation and practical decisions. Again, you know, even at the expense, to a certain extent, of Stockfish's number, I want to put pressure on my opponent. I want to attack them. I want to always I'm always playing for the kill. I love attacking. I love being the one to be down material if I'm the one making threats, right? So those things are true. I have like an aggressive playstyle for a title player, I think. And we got him with that combination with mate here next move. Um, oh, thank you. That is the biggest compliment that you could possibly give me. Thanks. I to be fair, I can't play like the Bushgas Gambit in classical games against title players, right? Um, there's still like in terms of like the objective correctness to craziness trade off. Like I have to be more towards this side of it than I am here, but I think I'm still closer to the left than maybe some of my other title players. Morphe tall, yes, such geniuses standing on the shoulders of these giants with the Von Hennig Gambit, by the way. You know what Morphe and Tall didn't have? Gambit glasses. And they didn't have themselves to study from like I do. Morphe was kind of like the first great chess genius, I think. I don't think that's that hot of a take. Um, in like the 1850s, he was American. He was by far the best player in the world at a very young age. And so I think he quit chess pretty young, actually, in like his early 20s. But some just absolute masterpieces of just sacrifices in the opening. It was before there was like a lot of like established theory and such. He just like King's Gambit every time, you know? No one wanted to play him because he was smelly. What's the most dubious thing I've been willing to play in classical? Let me think about that for a sec. Is this coming? I'll take this. What's the most dubious thing I play in classical? Typically, I'm a fan of my openings. There are gambits that I've played that like prep that I've had even in I took a big risk in one tournament in Budapest. I can actually I can show it. I can show it actually. I think this is actually going to be quite an interesting tangent. I'll show it after this. But it's this position where actually Hikaru has either played it or faced it, I remember. And the refutation that Stockfish gives is just so improbable that you can get away with it. It was kind of the idea. And it worked one time, and then it was in the database, and so then it really didn't work the second time because I was prepped against it. So that was kind of funny. Vampire Chicken. Yeah, I am a big fan of Jonathan Schrantz, actually. Uh, that was partially the inspiration for me YouTubing. I really loved all his videos on like the Nachmanson and those things, and just the idea of actually innovating and doing something new in chess theory that I think he was doing. I thought like it was really quite genius stuff. Like it's so hard to like innovate per se when like there's big engine that tells you number, but I think he really proved that Stockfish was wrong and um, like what was it? This King G6 line in the Nachmanson. I think by the way with Knight D7, I think this tactic works easily now. We take a couple times. Oh, am I wrong? Bishop. There's Rook F3, which is actually quite annoying. Well, I have in for a penny, in for a pound, but what do we have here? If I go takes and then GF3, his pieces are just so bad. What's this up? Okay, I think I'm gonna do this. That was, yeah, F takes. I actually kind of forgot about this. My rook was in the exact wrong spot. It should have even just been on F1. All right, I'm just trying to arrange rook g1 and queen h3 right here. I'm I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I had to go g takes f3. And so in that position I did it voluntarily. We've got a couple threats here, here and here. I'm not sure what like you're two pieces up and my threat is very obvious and very slow. And queen f6 appears to cover some things, but so now how do you cover, because it's just like these, like it's two pieces up, but it's like look how bad your pieces are. So it's funny, queen f6 here, queen h3, so this is covered, right? But how do you even cover queen g8? Because the bishop has no moves. Like, okay, wait, you're gonna allow queen g8? And e5 now maybe covers this. Goes there, but now check. Come up. Wild stuff. Okay, wait, I had a draw by repeating, right? Where are you going? This is... That would be mate, right? Creates another square. I think I'm just gonna grab this queen while I can. Not seeing too much here. Gotta be quick anyway. Alright. Well, we flagged him there. Wild, wild game. I guess I messed this up. So this position had to be so winning. Yeah, I mean, I just go here because it's like, look how shut out all of his pieces are. Like, it's only a matter of time before I just kind of like waltz my queen right into h6 and rook h3 and tie him down right there. I went for knight takes g6 here, which is very stupid because this sacrifice very clearly works, right? And just rook h3 next turn. But f takes, and then all of a sudden this rook is in a terrible spot because, like, if it was on f1, I could just go rook takes f1. But here, my queen is hit, which, like, also prevents me from making a bishop move. They can take my queen. So, okay, it's actually -6. This was not the right defense. Knight f6 was the right defense? And queen f8. This is apparently all drawn until this blunder. King f4, and it's a draw. Okay, wild stuff. I pick off the queen. I actually played that quite well after my initial blunder, according to this. Very interesting game. Very interesting game, because I think I was completely winning out of the game. It's very hard to innovate. Thank you, thank you. So, I mean, it is very hard to innovate, for all of us, myself included, just because this game has been studied so much, right? Um, it's been studied for hundreds of years by some of the brightest minds to ever walk this earth, and now by some of the brightest computers. So, yeah, like it's very difficult to like find something new that you can actually justify. Um, but obviously, those things continue to happen. Uh, you know, just by virtue of it being a game of competition, it's never going to go completely stale because everybody wants to be one step ahead of the other person. Like people don't want to play 15 moves of mainline whatever, because your opponent will know it too. So there's every incentive to innovate, which is what makes it so beautiful and is what keeps the game moving. And there's always something new to discover. Like I bet 10 years ago people were like, "Oh, game's gone stale." 10 years before that, people were like, "Oh, the game's gone stale." I don't think it has. I think I like every time I try to find something new, I approach it from the positive philosophy of there is something new here for me to find. There always has been. Um, it's just up to me to find it. Speaking of which, I think I got myself into a bit of a jam here. All these pieces are all over my face. 960 got more room for innovation. Yeah, I mean, certainly. I like chess 960. I do think my favorite starting position out of the 961s is the default starting position. I think it was chosen quite perfectly. But that's not really innovating opening theory per se, the same way like me trying to find a new gambit against the English, like how I just played c4 a6 and b5, is finding something new and trying to contribute to the body of chess theory. Yeah, Alpha Zero, Leela, every edition of Stockfish, right? Like it's never truly stale, right? There's always something new to discover. What is this? He just sacks this bishop for fun? Like, I don't know. After I made my Bush Gas video, I was like, damn, like I worked so hard on this. This is my best idea. How am I gonna follow this? How am I ever gonna find another idea? And then like I made the Von Poppy Gambit um thing, and then I was like, damn, how am I ever gonna follow? Like, like it keeps coming, and like right now, I don't think I have like a phenomenal idea right now, but I think I don't know, it'll come. Oh, I actually didn't see this pawn, but I did see this fork. So I saw the more important thing, I guess, even though I still missed stuff. Check. Thank you so much. The Bush Gas video, yeah, the original Bush Gas Gambit video that launched my YouTube channel. Am I a Trompowsky player? I am not. D4, knight f6, bishop g5. I'm not. I don't have strong opinions about it. As a knight f6 player all my life, I will say the Trompowsky has always irritated me. So I guess that's a point in its favor for sure. I think a lot of Indian players can relate. Indian just meaning like knight f6 on move 1. What's the quickest mate here? Yeah, it is quite annoying. I used to be like an 84 player against this. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's valid and there's value, and like as a Trompowsky player, the reason I don't like it is because every time I face a Trompowsky, I know less than my opponent about this opening, right? And that's what frustrates me, right? Like a Trompowsky player is going to know it very well, and like a knight f6 player is just like, like they know their lines, whatever, and like main stuff, and then they probably like and maybe checked like a couple things in the Trompowsky real quick. But for someone like that, for like the white player in that situation, like that's their stuff. So yeah, I don't like to be in those situations. I like to be the one making my opponent uncomfortable. Get trumped. Okay. True Trompowsky diehards in the chat. Iron Maiden 666. Let's go. Let's go. Gambit glasses on. Ooh. What is this? We're now in a Joko piano out of the Goreng if I go for this, right? No, wait. This isn't a Joko piano. The knight should be on f6. This is the position that I'm confusing it with, right? They just played bishop c5 and just allowed me to eat stuff. You're the one who knocks. Knocks what? Alright, I like my pawn chain, and I think what it does is... Oh, baby. Oh, baby. You know what? I did eat a Greek salad earlier today. True story. So in the spirit of that, let's sacrifice our bishop on h7. Greek gift, baby. Here we go. For Sparta. Bishop takes h7. I mean, there's just nothing guarding here. There's no knight here. We had played e5 to kind of kick the knight out, guide the way for this diagonal. And this bishop isn't out. There's no bishop f5 in this position critically, which would have guarded this. Oh, and now here's a very, very pretty mating pattern. Check. So rook e8 cleared a square here to try and run away. But check, come back, come in again. So it's now we have the same position except without this pawn, right? Because we just took it, came back. And now because that pawn's not here, in this position, there's no pawn here. If we had just gone straight for it, there would have been a pawn there. But we checked, came back, check, check, mate. Boom. Got him with the Greek gift. Got him with the Greek gift. Let's go. Let's go. We're flying up